Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. My name is Olympia. For those of you that are here for the very first time, I go by Oly, and you can find me here on Instagram. That's really the only place that I go on, really, and not even as much. But anywho, let's not get distracted already. If you are here once again, thank you so much for joining me, and let's go ahead and get started because it is a hot, sunny day out here in Southern California where I live. I actually just got done recording the Spanish video, and I had to move my setup a little bit because I was already in the sun, and it is hot. It is a hot day. See what the temperature is at so far. But I know we just had a heat warning that got issued. It's 83 already. It's going to be 91 today. I already feel like going into the pool. Luckily, we have an above ground pool that we can go into and cool off a bit. But anyways, if you are here joining me, thank you. A couple things that I want to point out. I am in a different location. I am outside in my backyard. It's starting to get a little bit windy. Earlier today, we had someone in the school using thank you, Mother Nature. This is what I mean by it gets windy over here. This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about like you need to make sure your trampoline is tied down. Windy. Anyways, I live close to an area where there's like a I guess an airstrip landing, airplane landing strip. What do you call those? Anyways, so you might hear small airplanes that are landing. I also live near base, so you might hear a sonic boom here or there. You never know. We've kind of had a little bit of everything today. I live almost like across the street from a high school, and earlier today they were having some sort of race or sports activity. So you had also someone speaking on the loudspeaker. So, fair warning. Let's get started. First, finished object. And really my only big or my only garment that I've finished today, or that I finished this time around, is my black ranunculus. And this is what, of course, because I'm not in the sun anymore, you're not going to be able to see it very much. Okay, we'll see. Okay, we'll get it there. Sort of. I'll try to put a picture in here, but as you can see, I still need to hide the ends. That's what I was supposed to be doing on the last podcast that I just recorded, the Spanish one, and I got distracted. Maggie, come. I am also joined out here by Maggie and my cats, so there's that. Second, finished objects. Oh, I just dropped one. Dropped an itty bitty project I finished. Okay, I finished the second pair of these socks. I didn't bring the first sock because you guys have already seen them, and I didn't have enough sock blockers. I'm like just gonna put one of each of the ones that I finished. So I finished my last of the summer sock camp socks from last year. I know I'm quite behind. This one is the Wyatt Sock that I just recently finished, and this is where I was. I literally, on both of these socks, I had just done the heel, and that's where I was on both, and basically I finished the rest of the foot. This one's just a simple vanilla sock that I finished. Both of these are for me. Um, I was just mentioning on the Spanish podcast that I was knitting on this while we were in a family outing at Universal Studios not too long ago on this beautiful sock. And it was super funny because we were waiting. You guys know how the lines are, could be atrocious. And the line was super long. And there was a lady like way towards the front of the line, probably like 10, 15 people ahead of me. And she would occasionally turn around and ask me, she would be like, "Are you done yet? Are you almost there?" And I would be like, "No, 15 more rows, or I'm almost there." And it's so funny because we were almost to the front of the line, like to get into the ride, when the ride got shut down because they were having some technical difficulties. We were already in line for almost 2 hours. There was no way I was getting out of that line. No way. So I waited until they fixed that line, which was an additional like hour. And I finished that sock in the meantime. And the lady and her husband were just like amazed and laughing at the same time that, I finished the sock, and that I had this other sock prepared and ready to go to pick up. And yeah, I thought it was so funny. But I was too embarrassed to be like, "Oh, you must be a knitter," and to go up and talk to her and chat. Yeah, and occasionally I would get people like looking at me and pointing like, "Oh my gosh, she's knitting." It's always funny. Sometimes you end up feeling like an attraction yourself, right? Like if you're at a zoo or something. Does that happen to anybody else? It happens to me sometimes. I get those occasional comments of like, "Oh my gosh, my grandma knit," or "I've never seen anybody young knit." And yeah, so it could be interesting. Anyways, my mom made a comment about these socks, these Wyatt socks. She really loved the spiraling effect that they do, and she was like asking me, "Oh, are those socks for me?" And I was like, "No, they're for me." I have made her socks in the past. I just don't really feel like the people that I've knit for in the past, um, I don't really feel like mm, maybe they might be knit worthy, or like they appreciate my knits. Mostly because I don't really ever see them wear it. But maybe it could be because they're all socks. I don't know. When somebody gives me something, I try to make an attempt to wear whatever it is. Doesn't matter what it is. Or like send a picture of like, "Hey, I'm wearing what you gave me," type of thing, just to show appreciation. And yeah. But anyways, I might have to be looking into my stash, because I do have to cast on some more socks, even though my sock mojo's been kind of like they do come in handy to have them, especially while I'm at the gym doing my cardio. It's nice to have one going. And my last finished project is a tiny little project. It's actually a case for my husband's headphones. I bought him some headphones, just like the ones I have. And I don't know if you guys recall the colorful little case that I have for my headphones. This is just a plain black case and a black cotton yarn. This is the color that he wanted. I just need to put the magnetic snap on it, and it will be set. I haven't put it on it because this is the second case I make for him. I decided to try and make him like this Yoda, baby Yoda case that I saw. Let's just say that it didn't turn out how I was expecting, and I didn't like it personally. And I know my husband was kind of like, about it. He still kept it. He still has it um, on his case. And I told him, look, I'll finish making you this one because I gave him a couple options of colors. I didn't have a lot of masculine colors, but I told him I have black and I have this blue that changes into different blues. And he said, I'll go with the black. I finished it that same day. And I told him, just leave me the case on the side so that I can take off the magnetic uh, snap and reuse it and put it on this one here. And that's just never happened. It's been like 3 weeks and I haven't like really pushed him on it. And I'm surprised he hasn't been like, hey, here, take this case. But I need to do that. I need to do that. I feel bad. I feel a little bit embarrassed that he's carrying that case around because it looks silly in my opinion. I'll try to put a picture here, but yeah, it does not look like Baby Yoda. I don't know how people can crochet things and make them look like a replica. But anytime I try to make a character, I just feel like it doesn't turn out. Like it doesn't turn out like the character. I don't know if it's just I'm just being too harsh of my work or what. But we are moving on. Moving on to my next section, which will be my whips, my current working whips. First one here is, this is actually a half finished object, which is the Riviette top. And this is where I was last time I showed you guys. So I finished one strap and then I picked up the second strap and I finished it. So this is what it looks. And I have a little dilemma with this. Okay, I'll tell you guys in a second here. Let me move my ranunculus because I was about to weave in ends. Okay, so I finished one half of it. I have started the second half. One thing that I noticed, so here it is. I've only done like 2.5 cable repeats, so not very much done. One thing that I noticed on this half that I've finished is that I did it all in the same needle. You're supposed to do the hem in like a size 3 needle or a smaller needle, depending on your gauge. But for me, it would have been 3, and then the body would have been on a 4. And I did the body all in 3. And for this one, I made sure that I did it correctly. But my dilemma that I'm having here is that it seems that this is going to be kind of big. I started this project a while ago, a couple of years ago. And since then, I've kind of had to start going down in sizes because I've been slimming down a little bit. So I've had to be adjusting my sizing in my projects. And I feel like this might be a little bit on the big side. So I'm going to go ahead and stand up. So let me untwist this. So this is what it's looking like right now. Hold it like this. On one side, it goes past half of my shirt. The other one is at the half. Okay? But I'm going to go ahead and this comes in handy. So I don't know if I should adjust right now that I have so little done on this second half. This is what it's looking like. Okay. So, I mean, if I kind of wrap it around myself a bit, probably not the best demonstration. But you see, this is where the half of my shirt is. It's kind of like wrapping all the way to my back pocket over here, this side. So this is gonna be big on me. If I do the exact same size, it's gonna be big on me. So this is the dilemma that I am having right now. So my options, or what I was thinking of doing, because this is all cotton, and I haven't worked with cotton a ton, but the one time that I did work with cotton and I washed it, that thing stretched out a lot. But I was able to correct it and fix it by putting it in the dryer and letting the dryer shrink it. So I ripped this all out and start over in a smaller size. Or I just decrease on these sections right here, decrease so that I can have the right amount of stitches for the next size down, or I just keep going and do the exact same size. What do you guys think? See, this is the problem as well with doing things that get seamed, because I can't really try it on to see. But I'm just gonna lay it on top of each other just to check, just to double check that it's the same, that it's about the same length. And it is. It is the same length. So, yeah. Do you guys have any thoughts, any tips? What do I do? I was really trying to finish this project because I've had it on my whip stash for so long. And it's a beautiful pattern. And I'd hate to have to frog this. I don't know. Any ideas? Give me any ideas. Comment below, please. All right. That is my Reviette. Okay. Next whip is my Oly sock whip. And that is my romantical or romantically sock. I'll put the name here. I always mix it up. I'll put the name of the designer and the name of the pattern. But it's going to be kind of hard to see because I just finished doing the heel, and right now I'm doing the gusset decreases. And it looks like a mess. But this is what the sock is looking like with the little lacy heart design in the front. And I have this in my little matching. I'm still in awe of how much this sock and bag match. And yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. I need to get past this heel area so that this can be much easier to work on in the gym, because this is my only sock project. And I will be getting some more of my yarn out for socks from my stash, because even though my sock mojo hasn't been like all there, it is handy to have a sock project going. The next project here is my Dragon Scales sweater by Pope Vergara, and I'm loving this pattern. I'm having a little bit of a difficulty as far as the techniques. My hands are not loving it. Like, my hands are definitely feeling it, and I think it really has to do with the method that I chose for putting the beads on it is not working properly for me. Um, I I would like to say it's more of it's my fault, really, because I didn't look into it a little bit better, and because I don't want to try to find something else that works better. I just want to work with what I have. Okay, so the last time I showed you guys this project, I had just started the beading. In the mohair section. Sorry, I saw my cat chasing something. They like to chase grasshoppers and stuff here in my backyard. Okay, so this is what it's looking like. You see the sun is already coming from my side. Hope you guys can see this. So this is the Dragon Scales sweater with the beautiful, colorful beads. Okay, then you have this beautiful mohair section with beads and only the mohair. And then you have an I-cord that you apply here and an I-cord that you apply after this mohair section. And I just finished applying the I-cord. I'm like literally one row past the I-cord. So yeah, it's beautiful. I'm loving the way it looks. I think this is just gonna look beautiful once it's done. It's definitely scrunched up. Probably need to put a longer cable. Um, but I don't know. Sometimes I feel like when I have a longer cable, the cable gets too much in the way, especially if it's too long where it's like stretching your stitches. Sometimes I find it a bit easier when your stitches are scrunched up, because your stitches just slide a little bit faster. Is it just me? What do you prefer? Longer cable, shorter cable? Let me know. But yeah, that's the only thing that I'm struggling with the beading, is just struggling as far as the technique that I'm using, because over there in Chile, I'm using the crochet hooks to apply the beads. So I put the bead on let me show you guys. So I put one of these beads into the hook. Then I grab my stitch with the hook and hold on to the stitch on my hook and then pass the bead over. But the problem that I'm having is that the beads are not balanced or calibrated, I guess you would say. I mean, I haven't even like researched of where you can get that. But um, over there in Chile, you can specifically buy those. So what that means is that they're all going to be the same size. So you're not going to have issues with it coming on or off. It's going to be easy. But the problem that I'm facing is that the beads, even though they say they're like a specific, size, example, size 4, size 6 or whatever, they're not, because I'm having issues with some of them being stuck, or some of them I'm not able to put into the hook. So then I have to get a smaller hook, or I'm struggling to get it off the hook and onto the stitch. And there's different techniques that you can use for putting beads on knitting. There was another technique that I wish I would have researched before starting this project, where you can put the beads into your yarn already. So you have like all these whole bunch of beads already in your yarn. So as you're knitting, you're just passing over the bead. And I wish I would have done that. And I guess I could have done that. I could have tried that right now that I started another row after attaching the I cord. I'm going to see if I can go back and try doing that, because yeah, I struggled. And now thinking about, I have to put the beads on these scales again. I'm going to go ahead and try that technique. I'm going to tinker back a little bit. I'm going to rip back a little bit, because I just added this solid. No, I did not. I did not. I would have to actually go all the way back and take off the I cord, and that was a headache to add. Goodness. I thought for a second that I could do that, but you know what? This is wool, so I can just rip, I can just cut this yarn and split splice and try that technique. I'm going to go ahead and try that. This is for the sake of the people. Okay, this is going to be a project. This is for the sake of the people. I'm going to go ahead and try that. And I'm going to add all the beads. I think that will be so much easier, so much better. Let's hope. Cross our fingers. Because that's the problem. Otherwise, I would be zooming through this project, because it is fun. It is fun. You're just reading through the instructions. It's telling you when to add the beads. And what's killing me is that I'm struggling in the parts where I need to add the beads. But if I already have the beads on my yarn, that I'm just passing the bead through to knit it, and I can continue on, and I will be going much faster, because that's what's causing me a bit of strain and pain in my hands, because I'm struggling with the hook. That's going to be the plan. We are going to try that. We are going to try that. And if you want to try any of her patterns, or any other designer that does beading in her patterns, that way you will know. You will know from my experience. But yeah, there's a lot of beautiful designers out there, especially from especially Chilean designers. They use beading a lot. And that is something that I really wanted to integrate this year into my knitting, to just bring it to the next level. And this designer's patterns are very well written, very fun. So for the sake of trying a different method and experimenting and making this possibly go faster and be more enjoyable for me, because I am enjoying it despite the fact that it's causing me a bit of pain, we're going to try that. Because I went to the store and I wish I had the tag, but I bought these like thin needles. They were like beading needles, and they're basically like um like a threading needle for when you do embroidery and stuff, but except it's big. So like you can open it like this. I hope you guys can see. Like that, and you put the bead. But I tried to see if I could get this to work with the knitting, and I could not, because I think this is only meant for like jewelry. I tried finding videos to try to help me out, and I could not. So we are going to try that other method. I will report back to you guys how that goes. Now I am looking forward to that. And on this podcast that I just recorded in Spanish, I had a mishap, a little misfortune that I discovered while I was recording. And that is with this next project, which is my Alpine Bloom. I know. Okay, so I haven't worked on my Alpine Bloom very much. I only got like 4 or 5 rows done since I showed you guys last, because I ran out of my yarn that that I spun. So that's been on standby until I finish spinning my rest of the fiber so that I can do another skein. Well, when I took it out of the bag to show everyone in the other podcast, I realized that one of my kiddos must have put a fruit in my project bag. They put what seemed to must have been a mango at one time. I will not show you guys pictures of the state of the fruit, but let me just tell you that there's a stain inside my bag and there's a stain on my project. Okay. Luckily, the stain is on the gray part. There's a little airplane. Luckily, the stain is on a gray part and not on the yarn that I've spun. So I'm hoping that it'll be easier to come out, but I'm not sure, because that's fruit that's gone bad and moldy and all that. I don't know how easy that's going to be. Besides that, I found another stain, not as bad as the first one, and the stain is not like as huge, but it's a stain. Let's see if you can see it. First of all, it's going to be kind of hard. Can you see the stain? Is right there, right here, right there. And then there's another one right here. Anyways, so sad. But you know what? It's my fault. It's because I left my project bag in the couch. So can't blame my kiddos. This is where I'm at on my Alpine Bloom. Beautiful, beautiful. And yeah, this is where I'm at. And as of now, it's on standby. I'm going to try to get this stain out now that I discovered it. This has never happened to me. I've never really had any sort of stain on my knitting like this. Have you guys had stains? You guys have any tips? I'm going to need all you guys' tips this time. Make sure my mic is on. Yep. Let me just, I had this in my favorite kitty bag too. The bag outside is not stained. It's just the pocket inside that got stained. I'm just going to show you guys this stain in here in my bag. New cast-ons. I've been wanting to cast on some summer garments, summer tops. I don't have very many summer tops or things in summer yarn, summer fibers. And I have quite a bit of bamboo yarn, some cotton. And now that I have this dilemma going on with my green top that's on standby, I decided to just go ahead and cast on some of my other tops that I wanted to do. Okay, so this first top here is this lacy top. This seems like it's going to be big, but hopefully not. I need to put it on try on cables and try it to make sure. But this is the Humle top. I'll put a picture here. But me and my friend Rosie have been wanting to do this top. We've had it in our library for some time. She got motivated to start hers, and that motivated me to start mine as well. So yeah, I started this, and I am doing this as part of the knit along that Rose Opal Knits is doing, their Seasons Change knit along, or is it a MAL that they're running on Discord. And I'm doing this in this bamboo yarn from Hobby Lobby, which is the Bambootiful, something like that. So there's that one. I think I have maybe like 10 more rows of the lace, and then it's like the just knit stitch. This top is very elegant. It's going to be very fitted, but you can choose like the amount of how much you want it to be fitted, if that makes sense. Am I making sense? Anyways, you can fit how well you want it to hug your body, or if you just want it to be straight. So I really, really like that. It has several options. It even has the option to raise the back a little bit more if you want a little bit more coverage. And it's a free pattern too. Forgot to mention that. And the second one here is from another, it's from one of the designers that I just finished a sweater for. That very colorful, rainbowy looking sweater. Camille Knits. She's a Chilean designer. And she has several of her patterns in English. So definitely check her out. But this pattern here that I'm doing is called Nini top. And I wanted to do it with this brown, beautiful, like, it's like a bamboo blend of a yarn that has like this pretty drape to it. It's all scrunched up right now because I'm using very short cables. One, I need to get more cables for my red lace needles. But two, I just find it easier to have my projects in shorter cables, unless it's like absolutely necessary to have them on longer cables. I think I do have like a 50-inch cable somewhere, but I don't necessarily need that. Anywho, that's the top that I'm doing. I'll share a picture of what it looks like, and it's going to have this beautiful variegated yarn that has tones of ivory and brown or like a rust that's gonna go with this brown. So basically this top, as you guys can see in the picture by now, it's gonna have like a ruffle at the bottom. That's why it has like this little these little like pearl bumps at the bottom, because I think that's where you're going to be attaching the ruffle. And it's also going to have some ruffle sleeves. And the sleeves and the hem, if I'm not mistaken, you are going to do those in crochet. So this is a knit and crochet project. And this is one of the reasons why I decided to do it. One, because it's combining um, both of those things together, but two, because it just seems so simple yet elegant, and three, because I just thought these these colors would go perfect together for this project. And yeah, it's been nice. It's been super nice. And I don't have anything in brown. I've noticed that I don't have a lot of things in my closet that are like neutral colors that can go with anything. I'm more of like pinks and purples and bright colors. I need to expand my wardrobe a little bit more, and definitely having more like summer fibers so that I can use and wear during summertime would be nice. And probably like tops that don't really have that much of a sleeve, or tank tops is definitely something that I have in mind for me to do, and will take some time. So yeah, I have this in my little cheetah print bag for now. I think that's all the projects that I have. Oh yeah, I just had my son's project. I think I shared a while ago on my Instagram that I taught him how to knit this year because he has been begging me for years. And I got him one of these Karen cakes. Is it Karen cakes or red heart cakes that changes colors? And he's been loving it. But he was begging me for a bag, a project bag. I kept looking through my bags and looking through the inventory that I had to see if I had something that I can give him. But all my bags were like very feminine. I'm like, I'm gonna check my fabric stash and see what I have. If I have something that I can use for him that is not too feminine. And I did find this fabric that I had bought a while ago. And this is what his project is looking like. Um, he's making a scarf, but if, as you can tell, he's struggling a bit because he increases and then I have to help him decrease because he'll go from like 20 stitches to like 50 stitches, or he'll start dropping stitches. And now that I think about it, I wish I would have had him do something small, or a smaller project. But I've tried to see if like he's willing to set it aside and maybe do something else that's a little bit smaller, and he doesn't want to. So I'm just gonna let him go with it, and I'm just gonna keep it keep it forever and remind him, remember your very first project? The only thing is, I mean, he's five, so he's not very careful with his things, you know. He leaves his knitting out and about, and sometimes my pup, my dog Maggie, gets a hold of his knitting and chews the wood needles because she loves wood. Good thing that these are cheap and expensive needles that I bought a long time ago, like on eBay or something. But still, you know, I found some fabric for him. I made him a bag, and it didn't even last him a month. Let me show you guys. This is the bag. This is the bag that I made of him. Look at the cutest little porcupine on a hike. The bear barbecue with his little cooler. You got a little rabbit in the hammock there. And then you have like a porcupine somewhere in a canoe as well. Anyways, it didn't last him long because I just found this bag in my dining room and his knitting was not in it. But look at what I found. You guys see that? That was Maggie. Maggie got a hold of this bag. I am 100% sure. So somebody must have taken it away from him and been like, "Oop, let's set it to the side so Mom won't see." And Mom found it. And it's on the front too, on the front of the bag. So I'm going to have to do a little bit of patching there. But not even a month, guys. Not even a month. I didn't even get to take pictures of his bag. Kid. Next time he asks me for a bag, I'm going to give him a grocery bag. Just kidding. Okay, moving on to the last part, and that's it. I promise. Okay, last part is my spinning. This is the yarn or the fiber that I'm spinning on my Turkish spindles that I 3D printed. This is what the first spindle is looking like. This is the fiber that I have left. Okay, once I'm done with this fiber for this spindle, oh, here comes the wind. Okay, once I finish the fiber on the first spindle, then I'm done. I'm setting that aside. This is the second spindle. This is how much fiber I have here. But I still have this much fiber left to spin. And once I'm done with that, then I will be ready to ply both of the yarns that I've spun on both of these spindles together to make my new skein for my Alpine Bloom. And then I can resume with that project. And that is it as far as that. I don't recall if I shared here with you guys that I was 3D printing parts for a spinning wheel. I'll try to see if I can put a picture here. I am still working on that. It's taking some time. 3D printing takes time. But more than anything, I haven't been able to do much 3D printing. I've been very busy lately. Moving on to a little bit of life. So if you don't want to hear what's happening or what's going on, thank you so much for joining me. And if you do, then thank you for sticking along. It's been a busy season. I have started working more hours. I'm now working full-time from home here. We're just finishing off, or we just finished actually yesterday, the school year with my kiddos here at home. And well, my kids have a lot of extracurricular activities right now. They're doing horseback riding, which now we're doing at 7:30 in the morning because it's very hot by 10. It's already very hot over here. So we're doing that in the morning. They're doing music class, and they're starting Monday. Starting Monday, they're starting martial arts on Mondays and Thursdays. So busy over here. And I haven't had time to do much. I haven't had time for much knitting. Most of my time is just, okay, early in the morning, get up, go to the gym, meal prep, whatever free time I have, try to clean, try to do laundry, you know, normal mom duties. And if I do have extra time, well, you know, I spend it with my kiddos because they miss hanging around and whatnot, which I get it. I understand. So I haven't even been sewing, haven't been on my sewing machine at all either. It happens. We all have busy seasons in life, and we're just rolling with it and enjoying life to the most that we can. But back to where I was saying about printing my own spinning wheel. Yeah, I started a project a bit ago, printing parts in the 3D printer to build my own spinning wheel. Probably say I'm like halfway through the things that I need to print. I just need to make time to go to the library and continue to print the things that I need. So I will keep you guys updated how that goes because I have been enjoying spinning and I want to try a spinning wheel. And I think building my own spinning wheel seems like a very fun project. We'll see how it is. I just thought it would be something fun to do. Anyways, thank you guys for sticking along. I will try to see if I can do a video next month. I mean, we're already in the 1st of June. I forgot to say the date. Today is the 1st of June. So, tried my best to record in May and it just did not happen. I'll try to see if I could do a video again towards the end of June, but it's probably not going to happen because I have an upcoming surgery that is going to keep me out for about a week or two. So it might not happen. But if I can, I'll keep you guys posted. And follow me along on Instagram. You can see what I'm up to in the little bit that I share. And stay in touch, guys. Whatever it is that you do during this season, enjoy it to the best that you can. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Good morning. My morning has started. I am running late. Of course, trying to get ready for the gym. Stayed up a little bit late because I have been moving things around here in my bedroom where I work. And of course, this morning I'm finding some of these things here. My cat likes to go into my yarn stash, which used to be here, but I decided to move my desk from here to here. So my husband helped me do that yesterday, and right now I have my little treadmill that I put under my desk right here, standing against the wall. Move things around. Things are still kind of looking crazy. My desk is a little unorganized because we moved our desktop over here so that I can use it, because I've been using my laptop for work, but my laptop is such a dinosaur that I need to upgrade. So we just decided, why not just use the desktop? Of course, my comfy shoes and my yarn stash ended up moving over here, which everything's kind of a mess right now. And right now I'm just trying to get going. I'm trying to get going to the gym because I'm already running late. And I have a long day ahead of me. But I wanted to show you guys what I'm always waking up to is balls of yarn that my cat Zoe will bring out to me. And I'll hear her occasionally at night digging through some of my bins to get some skeins out. So I need to organize, clean some of these shelves out, put bins in here, but everything was just kind of like quickly moved. I moved whatever was here because my daughter has moved into what was my sewing room. So there's been a lot of moving and shuffling around. I have a sweater over here that I'm in the process of frogging. So yeah.